Well, anyhow, well, that's enough of the loading screen, I think. Alright, so it's time. So, I checked everything. I have two things, two sides of topics to discuss. I have made a horrible mistake and not written up them. One thing, I'm sorry, my throat is a little bit icky. Alright, I coughed it out. So first thing I wish to talk about is of course streaming, UI and the like. You know, everyday kind of occasion things. The second is living life, and I think I'm going to make it third into a VTuber if I don't cover things. So first, let's see, streaming, yeah, making content. Still didn't get on that one. Okay, so I'm horrible at writing. That's okay. Almost managed to write properly. No problem about that one. First of all, I will start with the streaming. I have some major technical, minor, somewhere in between. A couple of technical issues. So I have OBS, and I think OBS Streamlabs, and I think in the last couple of updates certain things kind of gotten broken. So I think that's kind of not what I wanted to do. I'm trying to log in, by the way. Oh, so that's how I chat. I'm going to make a hello word. Because as of late I haven't been able, but I have been able. The problem of mine was that the chat box, for example, doesn't work. I don't know why, it just kind of frozen at some point and haven't been working since. And I don't really know why. I have been like, I turn off everything. Now currently there is nothing that is visible that could be standing in the way of, for example, the chat box. And as you can see, there is no text. There is no text on bright, no text on blue, it just doesn't exist. So I tried to kind of, you know, do something about it. Does not seem to work. There is a chance that, you know, I might have to maybe reinstall it. I don't know. Something broken, it stays broken. And I don't know why. I'm going to turn everything back. And this is not just the chat box. I don't know if I've done something, or maybe it's because, you know, I'm from YouTube to Twitch and kind of the UI changed, or maybe they updated the UI and then everything broke, because it was originally the old chat box and old alert box that I noticed that they upgraded it, and since then it just haven't been existing. Now I made a couple of comments, and I'm gonna be honest, it just doesn't work. So I like it how it reopens everything after I close it. Yeah. So it is not visible. So those kind of things have to be fixed sooner or later. This was the one first of all of what I wanted to talk about. So first I wanted to talk about that I have a couple technical issues. A lot of things don't really exactly seem to be working. But for the most part, things work, I think. For the most part. I don't know why they don't work. And I don't know how to fix it. I'm going to be honest, probably just reinstall it. Problem solved. Not really. I would like to I'm just looking at, maybe there is a reset button. Yeah, I know it looked like a reset button. There is a little buffer button there, and it looked like, I was like, oh, maybe it's just a, you know, clear a cache or something. But I probably will have to kind of fix that. It's, you know, the thing is, I'm kind of a newbie and I have no idea what broke, and don't think that, you know, just magically restarting things will work, or just suddenly reinstalling will everything make it work. A lot of times something broken, it will stay forever broken, and it's a weird thing with informatics and web, because a lot of things used to be a lot more trustable, and I mean here browsers mainly. And I noticed that there are ghost bugs. For example, when you press the refresh button 5 times, every time it would have to work the same way. But if you do it 10 times or do it 100 times, sometimes certain bugs just come out. And normally every load would have to be perfectly same and successful. Why is that every 12th or 15th reload is buggy? I don't know. It just happens with browsers. Maybe some new scripts running. Maybe, you know, they are collecting data. Maybe that's when the cache kind of clears itself. There are bugs, and this happens pretty much with every browser. It have been how should I say? It has been more common kind of thing with informatics, mobile telephones, smartphones, you know, PC, Windows. It has been a kind of a thing with that just happens. For example, there are these I don't want to say names, because if I don't say positive things, then I think you know, you shouldn't be spitting on someone else's work because they are working too and whatever else. Nowadays behind websites we are having a lot of frames. These are systems to making websites, for example, much easier. Basically 2 clicks and you can make a website. There are themes, you choose the theme, make a couple pictures different, and then write a new title. There you go, there is a website. Now these frames, like, there are typical bugs, like certain systems, they call these RSIM contact managers, content manager systems, CMS. Maybe they have a new name since then, I don't really care. But I noticed that some of them have the exact same issues, the exact same problems. You make a very simple website, and certain things would be better and easier if you do that. I have a lot of things for which I want to use one of these content managers, but then there are a bunch of other things which are just a giant problem and a headache. This is why I rather use my own system, which is much smaller, much easier, and you know, it's not super this and super that. But the thing is, when you take one of these little packages, you know that it's not going to be heavy, it's not going to do a million kind of things, and it's not going to do a problem. For example, after 3 seconds, change this picture, and it's just going to change this picture after 3 seconds. It's going to be the exact same thing forever. That's all. But when you use a content manager, well, it's not so easy anymore. For some reason, it's kind of slower, sometimes kind of freezes down the computer, the browser page. You know, it's a super small thing. Why does it do it? I don't know. The code is not mine. And but these kind of things just very common. And with some of the frames from these content manager systems, you can see that you can just tell from the bugs which one is running under, and they are very visible and honestly very annoying. I know that some of the there are certain themes and the way that themes are made, and for example big pictures freeze, but very hard, very harshly, and pretty much they made a theme that is for kind of scrolling down, and you can watch the big pictures coming, sliding, and whatever. There are perfectly easy jQuery scripts for that, and the coder will does it, I don't know, 10 minutes. For me, there's gonna be need like days. Both because I'm a shit coder and because I don't do these kind of things. I don't always do magical front end kind of things, but I can do a lot of things. I can whatever. If you want to make it spin and throw sparkles, I can do it. It's just, you know, I'm not super practiced in it, but someone who is practiced in it, and I'm not kidding, they're gonna do it in around 10 minutes. And I don't know, I guess they ask money for it. Some I wouldn't, because, you know, if I have a customer, then I'm going to say, hey, pay me for 3 days and the whole thing is done. It is really not any other thing. Little 10 minutes come and goes are not really a super big problem in this case. And sometimes, you know, you find a bug or whatever else happens, or some weird glitch, you know, I'm going to do it. I have a guarantee, you know. It's I made you the product, and, you know, if there is something issue with it, you know, I have to fix it. But a lot of these scrolling pages, like you kind of start scrolling down and it keeps freezing. And I noticed with this theme, this kind of theme is, I think this is why it died out. I still see them on the West, but in my country this was like a super fast way to kill it off, and I can totally understand why. It's annoying as hell, and it just kind of swims in the picture. It's freezing down when it's swimming in, and it freezes down generally. And but I'm sorry, and it's not like I have a small computer or well, you know, it's from the 1990s. No, it's a strong one, and, you know, and there are a lot of things like that. There are a lot of systems for this kind of things, a lot of frameworks. There's so many things, and each of them kind of have their own problems, and it's kind of how the modern world became. With some things there are just a lot of problems, and people kind of make do, you know. Yeah, the hammer is not perfect, but, you know, you gotta hit the nail in, you gotta work. Yeah, so in a way it's kind of weird in a way. So I don't know what is with Streamlabs currently, in short, but it's how it is. I try to fix it, I try to make things. I'm going to be honest, I found a lot of widgets that I really want to try out, that I really super very much love, and I don't know why I didn't have them before, because I saw other people use them, you know, and I didn't have them. And I feel like for me it took some time till the Streamlabs updated, and I don't think the developer kind of you know, I don't think they are doing it on purpose to be like, hey, there is this one streamer, we are going to push his update like a month later or something, or 2 months later. So it's not like that, is what I'm trying to say. It's just kinda, you know, kind of weird, and maybe because I haven't reinstalled, upgraded, or wow, so on and so forth. And maybe it's time to do that, to be honest. I'm kind of sad because I worked a lot of things. I know it's kind of basic from one end, but when you're not kind of professional, and I love the UI, it's not that I don't, but it's one of those things that were made for you know, I'm from the generation of who have grown up on the old systems, so it is kind of why not, maybe I do some delete cache, maybe that will help. And you know, the overlay kind of frozen too, and that haven't been working since then. So anyway, found a couple of things. Maybe I tried those ones out. While I was talking, I kind of went, maybe I just look around, maybe I found something, and I did find something. Probably it will not work, but you know, you can try. So I'm not really used to this new kind of UIs, the clicky UIs. I'm used to the old menu system, where pretty much it was like utility. The point of the old start menu and desktop and tray, the point was utility. There is a tray for fast access, so you can do your thing the fastest you can, right? The start menu was always for super fast access. Now I like new Windows systems, but Windows 7, Windows 10, the thing is, the start menu is not fast. It's a search, you know. Search is not fast. These are pretty much just icons, used to be just icons for fast access. It's like you get a little window to really fast find what do you call shortcuts, and just click it the shortcuts and bye bye. You know, that kind of thing. And then you could make like a directory and be like, oh, like there are the music shortcuts, there are the video shortcuts. And the point was with everything that it was made and built for utility, convenience, be fast, do it fast. But if you go for a settings in Windows nowadays, it's neither convenient nor fast. The UI is kind of wacky, and also it's terribly slow. And if you want to actually find something, you have to go to the control panel anyway. It's not going to be helpful, you know, most of the time. So yeah, it's you know, this is why it's rambling. Yeah, I'm not really venting yet. We will see that. Maybe I get to that today. And for me, a lot of the new UI, I gotta say, for most part, Streamlabs UI is kind of convenient. I would say not all of it, but most of it is. You know, there are some things that are hard to get used to, some things not so much. It really depends. Oh, hello. I'm just moving things into the background. I gotta have to fix that one. And the thing is with software and informatics, you know, you never know who is exactly in fault. Is it the software? Is it the machine? Is it the user? Is it the one who made it? Now some people will be like, what's the difference in between these kind of things? Because when you say maybe the user is in fault, yeah, it's kind of easy to figure out why. you use the UI wrongly. That's not really true. Okay, I'm the one who makes the product, and I kind of look at it from my point of view. Customers can do things, a lot of things, use them wrongly. And when we say that the one who made the product did it wrongly, it's because you have to make it the way the customer would have used it conveniently, without my knowledge, right? And a lot of people kind of lost that the user doesn't have to learn how to code to use the UI or the machine logic, whatever is the most logical to him. For example, this is why old Windows used to have the typical settings of view and file and whatever. If you wanted to do something with the file, you go into the file, you know. If you wanted to do something with editing or options, you go into those menus. It was fairly very simple and very convenient and easy to understand. And this also meant that the user could learn very rapidly, which is the best kind of thing, because then it's going to be, you know, it's going to make everything simpler and easier. But another thing is, what if you are in a factory, for example, and it's a machine UI? Well, convenience is always important, but sometimes you have to understand what that machine does for the UI to make sense. In this case, the user is an operator, a machine operator. But if the machine operator has the skills needed to operate that machine, you know, he knows those kind of things, he still doesn't have to be a developer to understand the UI. On that point on, the UI is for him, alright, to make his job easier. Now, the software being wrong, this is also a complicated topic, because people would be like, yeah, the software is shit, but why is it shit? Pretty much all CPU does the same thing. So why is this one better, why is this wrong? But that's how you get to the solution. For example, a lot of games nowadays are horribly unoptimized. They add a car in a game and that's like 25 GB of upgrade. Nobody knows why. That's how it is. And then it gets upscaled, downscaled, uses a lot, doesn't really work, and kind of bad too. When the software is wrong, we can say that, yeah, it wasn't done well. You take the product out without the developer, without the user, and just inspect the product. And if I say, hey, this kind of runs slowly, it's kind of wrong, it's kind of problem, usually the solution was wrong, or the execution, how they made that. How does the software work? That's easy to break or buggy, because, well, if it's buggy, then it's not really the software's fault, it's the developer's fault. Bugs like that, you always, well, technically you purchase a whole product, not a broken one, not a buggy one. Alright, you purchase a whole product, and this is why there's a lot of problem, for example, with Steam and early access. Because in early access, for example, let's say 50,000 people buys your game, and in early access it is written in the contract that yes, some bugs may appear, but if it's an early access, it has to be playable. So if the game is playable and enjoyable and not, for example, riddled with bugs to the end and absolutely unplayable, then it's okay. If it's absolutely unplayable, then it's a scam. And there comes the other problem too. For example, what if you want to push the game from early access to full release? In that case, those who already purchased it, their contract gets updated as it was, you know, written. This means that you already purchased a whole product, but while it was in early state, it could have bugs, but now it's in second stage. Now it cannot have bugs. But a lot of early access games still do not have certain features, some do not work well, and it's kind of, a problem. This is when something happens, usually called a refound. And now this is the problem with early access, and why I'm not sure if Steam should be doing it at all. Because, for example, when some games get pushed to early access, most of the time their bank account remains in positive. Most of the time, not always. In sometimes the company pretty much goes near bankruptcy, and then Steam has to pay back the money, and then the company is no longer existing. And these people were like spending company money for 6 years, and now they are gone. And then comes the problem of, yeah, well, now we have a refund, and a massive amount of refunds. And this happens through development too, and this is why updating games are so dangerous. This is why in betas there always should be a 1.0 version, because some DLCs and some updates are just horrible. This is the problem of why Skyrim Ultimate never actually disappeared from Steam. My Skyrim got updated into a horrible mess. It's full of memory leaks. It's pretty much unplayable. Now comes the problem. I purchased Skyrim Ultimate. I don't care what's the opinion of Bethesda or how they ruined it. In the contract, it shouldn't be buggy. When I purchased my 1.0, it did not have any other features, and I did not want any other too. Now they added some features, and these features are extremely buggy. This is not enriching a product, because technically you shouldn't do that either, but usually the player will be like, alright, I got something free that is nice. In case of, for example, Skyrim and Fallout, I got something that's unplayable. It's broken all the time, it's unplayable. There is a memory leak. First it starts like, I don't know, half a gigabyte of memory, creeps up to 1, 2 and 5, and there is a hard crash. That's very bad, and I don't like hard crashes either, because it ruins my computer. Comes the problem, and know what? Well, refound. And the thing is, it is not what I purchased, even if it's in the Steam list. Now this was a solution between Bethesda, Steam and the user. Technically, Steam cannot remove the old game, because it's what I purchased. Technically, they couldn't have put in my library the bad kind of Skyrim or Fallout. They did it anyway, and well, they got a lot of refunds from it. Many of my friends also refunded it. I was the only one who didn't. The reason why they did it, because they said they rather pirate it than have this X on their computer, and they got a full refund after 6 years, or I don't know, 9 years. I don't know when some of these were released. And the problem is that the refund is very rightfully so, because you have removed the content that was purchased. That's how it is. So anyway, that's why these are problematic today, and that's the case of the software. That's the case of there is the user. The user can do bad things. For example, they can copy into fields some of the things they want. But what if the user says the following: I saw this nice font at this site and I want to copy it, so it would, the font would remain. This means copying a lot of metadata, which technically, the database can web can store it. It can store a lot of things, but it can both really slow down the page and really mess it up, and also can do bad things. This is something you don't want to allow, but the user can want it, and this is why you always have to be careful what you allow and what you don't. I told my customer, because we have allowed this for a while and we have run a test of it for a month, and then I told her, you know, I'm just going to make you custom fonts and you can use that, but that's all. The things you are copying into it are both wrong, bad, and contain style sheets that are messing with the rest of the page. Don't imagine super big things. You get a picture and then it just pushes everything out of the way, and the whole page becomes broken because the middle part, for example, is 1200. Nowadays it's not like that, it's not pixel, but back in the day it was pixel based. So it was 1200 pixel, for example, for this loop. If it's smaller, it goes into a smaller. If it's bigger, it goes into a bigger. The next one will be like, for example, 1600. You know, if you are looking at the media from a TV, it's going to look differently, and so it's going to appear differently on the screen. This is why we have style sheets. And so she takes some huge picture that was made into a 1600 pixel, and it messes up everything. And then I get a call that she had copied in a picture, and that messed up everything. And she wants it done, or she needs it like that, and whatever. And this does not mean that, the customer is ill, wrong, you know, callous, evil, or anything. She just wanted that cute picture, alright? But it's messing up with the site. This is why she does not need knowledge that a developer needs. But what can you do and what can you not do? This can also mean that I'm going to take every picture there is and make a script that's going to make it, for example, center it and fix it always and every time. This is a solution too. I have this one actually. But what if she wants 3 pictures in a line, or what? So, you know, you can always ask more and more, and the thing is, most of the things are set. It's really hard to make things that, okay, no, try it out, how that one would work. Or I'm going to make a module manager, which I already also had. Add in a module, and this is going to be 3 pictures. Oh. A moment, I got a call. I'm going back. Jesus Christ, come on, people. I'm already in a hurry and I'm shouting at them, and they just sit in the kitchen and don't even answer. And I'm supposed to walk around the full house to find them when I have to talk to something instead of shouting back or something. Jeez. And you know, you shout 5 times at them because I don't want to get out of the room. And they don't even say anything back, just sit there. These some people. Oh. Anyway. Where was I? Anyway. there's usually a limited amount of things and systems you can do for certain kind of things. For example, I don't know, you have a screen, you have a Windows on it. Alright, a window is a set size. You can put 15 pictures on it, but after a time you're just not going to see the picture. It's going to be a pixel size. What and what not. Let's leave this topic because I don't already care, and we are already going near the timer. So there's two things that I want to talk about: my day and V2B. I have been hanging out with friends, just going around on a bicycle, and very much enjoying the place. I have been a bit sad, but I still managed to talk to people, trying to get to know more people. We have been going to bars, we have been whatever. We have been walking around, you know, and it has been really good. And honestly, it's bringing back the light into my life. Being outside, talking to people, and I have to say, sometimes I say something to a girl, for example, and you know, they are really nice. Sometimes, for example, today I had a ice shake, I think it's called, in my head, in my hand, and you know, I was going around on the bicycle. I stopped. There was a girl, and I kind of noticed girls tend to, you know, sometimes check me out. It's kind of a normal thing. It's kind of you know, just exist, or they try to bring the attention to themselves. I don't know, I'm not a professional of the word. But the thing is, at these times, sometimes I say hello, maybe ask them out to a ice shake too, maybe if they want to get a drink or something. How are they? Maybe, you know, talk to them, whatever. And sometimes they stop, we talk a little bit. Sometimes they be like, and this is what I wanted to say, that today, for example, I saw a girl who had looked at me multiple times. I was playing with my ice shake, I'm going to be honest, because you know, you take a sip from it and then there is only the ice that remains, and then I was stacking it with the whatever that's called, and I was playing with it, and I think the girl kind of liked that, because she looked at multiple times at me and she laughed, and I said hello to her, and I was like, in short, I asked her if she wants an ice shake, if she wants one too, to be, you know, closer to what was said, if she wants one too, you know, because she was looking at it or me or something, and she was and she liked it a lot, you know, she laughed a lot. She stopped, but she was almost about to say yes, and what she said is kind of that she wants to, but kind of she's in a hurry, so not now, maybe, you know, sometime. And the thing is, what I learned is, in life, that you know, of course after this I say hello and yes and thank you and I'm sorry, then yeah, or then maybe sometime we catch up, or you know, have a drink, and then you know, she walks off. Now the thing here is, usually you don't, okay, I'm going to be honest, you don't ask her number in this case. The reason for this, if she would have wanted to give her number, she would have. There are certain things, certain roles in life, for example, it's very much usually the guys who ask out girls. but you know, she's still a person. You know, you don't have to run after her and be like, please, please, please give me your number. If she wants to, she will, you know. And it was a really, really fun experience. She was super nice, and we had a lot of fun. She laughed at me playing with my ice shake, and I asked her if she wanted one, and she liked the joke. So these kind of are the things that are making me happy, and it's kind of nice. And this bring light to my world, being outside and, you know, just interacting and counter interacting to things. Like, they don't always work out, but it can still be fun. Last time I was out with my friend, and I have told you about it. There was a girl who very shamelessly checked me out, like from top to bottom multiple times, and looked at my butt too. And sometimes girls do that. Sometimes they want to be asked out, sometimes they just see something they really like and try to be subtle at it. So not very, you know, not very visible. But sometimes they kind of suck at that, and it's very noticeable. Not really that noticeable, like it wasn't like she stopped and like wow and whatever. She's, you know, but you can see it on her. You know, you have eyes usually. I do. Anyway, and you know, sometimes you do a little bit of banter and say a couple of words back, like you put your hands on your waist and be like, so shamelessly, and then you make her laugh. It makes you feel better, you know. The day goes on. It's nice. And now I have been going around with a friend, sometimes talking to people, asking advice maybe, or their help, you know, being nice. And some of the girls were actually super helpful and told me to go here or there. This is how we meet girls, this is where you should go, this is a super good place, and so on and so forth. I have been talking to some of them on Messenger. Not very much with most of them, to be honest. Most of the... Well, that's kind of a difficult kind of topic, because most of the people I have been talking on Messenger with were... Okay, that's a different topic. Let's leave that. I shall skip a little bit of my day and then just talk about fun things, because there are still things I want to do and want to talk about, and I don't really want to spin back or circle back, maybe into topics that I have talked about or not be the super best. One last thing I wanted to talk about today, and then maybe tomorrow I won't be, and maybe after it I will be, or maybe tomorrow I will be and I won't be. Still working out the shadow, by the way, and I'm kind of thinking about moving into more to a 7 p.m. or 19 p.m. 19 o'clock. Wow, it was harder than expected. So VTubing. What can I say about oh my god, I'm so distracted. I'm still annoyed that I had to go out and talk to people. Alright, now I relaxed, kind of. I wanted to, like, I don't know, I started streaming a month ago, and the month went pass by me faster than I expected. I expected to get a higher salary and was doing streaming while I was working, and I expected to get lots of money. No, I didn't, to be honest. I got some. I can stay afloat from it, but pretty much that's all. I'm also unsure what I want to do in the future. Maybe I look into some of my skills or something else, I don't know. So the thing is, I want to get many things done. Maybe I start being a PNG VTuber. I don't know how to set it up. I probably just do it in browser or something. I see if you know, browser can catch the microphone input well or not, and then use that to, you know, just do simple things and then animate it. It shouldn't be the end of the world. Maybe I don't download a model. I'm unsure. I'm even unsure how I'm going to set that up. I would try to try out 2D models. The reason for this is that 3D models use a lot of processing power. So 3D models are a lot more catching to the eye. People love it. And I think they use less or maybe more. I'm unsure where there was some. I think 2D VTubing is actually less processing heavy. Maybe not, but 3D is a lot more interactable, to be honest. And it's, you know, it can be a lot more catchy when you move your head or whatever. But for 3D, I think 3D is kind of made with. You know, the good thing about 3D is that you can move your head left and right, and as long as the cam is catching it, it's really nice. But you know, the camera has to catch like everything, like it has to know where is your face and so on and so forth. Because the problem with it is that even if you have a 3D model, eye tracking is only tracking your face. The moment your tracking is lost, it's going to be the same as a 2D model, and it's just going to be the frontal part. So that's not really, you know. So it's and 2D models are more like 2.5D in a way, because if you think about it, 3D models have a texture that's similar to 2D models, but they go fully around, and then you get a shape, and then, you know, make one smaller, one larger, and kind of shape it like this through distance and physics engine onto something, onto a form. With 2D VTubers, they don't go fully around, just halfway. This is kind of like 2.5, because it halfway goes around. So yeah, anyway, so if you don't turn fully, then why go for more than 2.5? There is not much sense into it, and it uses more because of the physics engine. So that's one thing I want to get, you know, a model or a PNG or something to set up. I want to get onto actually doing something, get this kind of thing improved upon. Yeah, it will be an interesting one. I like the 3 dimension. I want to add like little tables or something at the very least, but we will see. The second thing is, and then there is a little bit of a problem here, that I keep pulling things out of my head, but I didn't really write these things up well. I also keep gasping for air, which is not good. Yeah, sometimes when I'm streaming, I feel like there isn't much air. It's maybe because I don't know. Usually I talk from my stomach. I think maybe not, and I don't think it's the air that is running out around me. It's more like just me. you know. But maybe I'm just talking in too long sentences, and for a long time I don't take air. That's also a kind of a thing that I do, sorrowfully, because you know, I streaming and I feel like I need to talk, because like silence is not really good, but in a way, who cares? So content. I have talked about this before. I would like to make content. I have been thinking about it, not putting effort yet into it, but the one thing that have got me viewers before is actually chatting and writing. Gaming actually got me a couple of views, maybe because of the engine or so on and so forth, maybe not because of that. Questionable why, but it got me a couple of views, but I don't know, later ones don't, and just only the car mechanic simulator one. So I think people are not that very interested in those kind of things. Also growth and so on and so forth. If I have proper content, then I can go on and say, alright guys, please watch me and whatever else. Without content, what do I ask my viewers to watch? Not really very much, do they? Do I? Do they? Do we? Questionable. You need something. Kind of need something to, like how you have a movie or something that people watch its content. It's not just simply something that exists, I guess, but so it's just, you know, it's a footage, but that footage has to be, for example, entertaining. This is why we have, for example, meme compilations, most of which are very unfunny actually and kind of bad, but you know, they take events. It's not just a camera footage, they take events that might be entertaining, and those events, some people react to that because it's more entertaining, and this is what this content is. So you would wish someone or some people to be entertained in a way. For this, I have been thinking about something that is interactable, something that can be good, something that catches their eye, something that they want to be a part of, something in which, you know, I can make an arena and put the viewers into it and be like, alright, fight for what you want, and so on and so forth, you know, basic things, basically doing things, and something that people would come back. I want first and foremost to bring joy and enjoyment. I want people to be happy and have fun. Oh yeah, people have came. Alright, and soon I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it by staring for 5 minutes at the screen. Yeah, people are here. So anyway, what else do I want? Yeah, I got confused. I had such a good thought. Oh yes, monetizing the stream. I think this is kind of an ugly topic and I don't want to leave it to the end, because greed is not good, And I know that many people doing the work things and just do it for the sake of doing it, because, you know, and not everything can be a main job or even a second job. And sometimes you get a couple of some money and for example buy a new microphone at it, something, and then you would be like, alright, I made money, but technically you are going to spend it on a microphone. And if you look at it, okay, but you're using it for example streaming. So in a way you made money, but you know, you are where you started. But there is beauty and passion in things, even if there are things are not earned. And it's not just simply greed. That should be a motivation, because honestly greed is a very bad motivation and very short-sighted. It's usually what you can buy on that. It serves a medium for that. But if you say, for example, you are into consumerism and you can buy a bunch of products on it, that's great. But what if you wanted to buy a TV and you already have a TV, and that's a good TV, like that's a really good TV that you have wanted to buy, and now you have a really good TV. What now? What's the motivation? Already have a good TV. What if you have wanted to buy a really nice car, and you already had the money, you looked it up, yes, this is a good car, and you really like the car. It has that really nice, for example, red background for the whatever meters, and it has, for example, that old cassette radio that you wanted. What now? You have what you wanted. So what comes into the monetization? What do you do and why do you do it? And note that I have been outside this very long. I kind of want to earn more, a lot more, and so work more. Okay, so where was I lost of thought? So I want a monetary income, and I want to turn that into something. I wanted to talk about this, but I always feel like dodging this kind of topic because it's embarrassing and it's not nice. And I feel bad when it's come to money, because it's always going to paint me into a greedy man. And it's not entirely wrong. But what I do with that greed and that motivation, the thing is, for me at the workplace, usually I have to really heavily motivate myself. For example, safety in having money is nice, but I usually look for jobs that pay a lot. Having been able to buy a sandwich every day instead of making it, a lot of comfort in life you can earn by earning well. But after the third or fourth month, when you have plenty enough, and you know the work is the same, just as heavy as it was yesterday, but the money, but what you gained, I mean the currency is still in your bank account, right? But now it's just, I have enough of it, and the more you have, the less it's worth, pretty much. I don't really need more. I already can buy a sandwich every morning for 6 months. And so what do you do? Well, I don't want a car. I would want a house, but I'm never going to earn from a salary. Well, okay. And so this kind of motivations and I have been thinking about, what if I would do streaming for a living? I have thought about this for two kinds of things. I have been doing certain things from home that were for a living, and in a way they were very, I would say, luxurious, kind of good, comfortable, but in a kind of way you're also closed into your own home as your own workplace. But this is why I have been thinking about what if I get monetized and actually be selling merch and, you know, doing things, and I get views and get donations and whatever. What would be then? So I'm sorry I have brought out this topic. Sometimes in life you have to confront what you are afraid of. I'm afraid of talking about monetization, and I feel like this is something I needed to talk about. Still a bit afraid to do it, but you know, because I don't feel like it would be genuine and that I earned it to even talk about it. It would be a bit too greedy and a bit too soon. But sometimes, you know, the kind of things that you fear will block you, and will be like, alright, how do I dodge this topic? Well, don't talk about it. Anyway, this for today is all. I'm going. Be good, be well, hope you enjoyed it, hope you come back, hope you don't, hope you come back, and hope you do, not hope you don't. Maybe, we'll see what kind of guy you are, or girl. But this is all for today. Be well and be good.